Welcome to the Canceled Cast, the show where we try to get as canceled as possible. I'm your host for today, Moose. Joining me, we got Omari, we got Corn, we got Rack, and guest starring us with us today, we got DeMarco, who's going to be muted the entire episode. And before we get started, I'd just like to give us a quick little shout out to ourselves. We're available now on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube by the name The Canceled Cast. Give us a follow, and I'll get back to you guys on that towards the end of the episode. Now, starting off, at the moment of us recording this episode, it's February, early February. The PS5 is supposed to be dropping in December for context. Yet we have nothing. We have like literally little to no information about that sort of stuff. How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you guys view it as a bad thing that we don't have any games that we know are coming out for it?
I mean, to me, it's always funny because I feel like when Xbox dropped the new one, or at least the release date for that, it kind of caught everybody by surprise, and probably even Sony. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like Sony was like, "Oh, okay, we got a whole another year. We'll do it in 2022, so we're not too worried." But I feel like since what's it called? Since Microsoft was like, "Oh, wait, here y'all go, the new Xbox," so PS5 has to drop like now. It's like, "Oh, wait, you gotta hurry
Right.
up," because if you think about it, right, if
Because
Xbox had that like this holiday to themselves for a new console, bro. Even if they're not getting any good games or any like brand new games until like I don't know 2 years from now, it's still like a major loss of competition if Sony just stops for a whole year.
yeah,
Yeah.
like but like the way they're like releasing shit right now, because what they only just now announced the name, even though everyone knew what the name was,
Mm-hmm.
like at the beginning of February. Like their original plan was to like slowly lead on into it, and like
Mm-hmm.
my whole mentality towards it is that it like if it's not announced by February, I really don't want them to release it because the main thing about a console is it needs hype for them to
Yeah.
release it. Like I know Sony's been talking about it for like years now, like probably since Spider-Man PS4 dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But like end of it, just thinking about it, there's no point in like them announcing it in like I don't know March or April, and the console coming out in December. Like
I feel like
game.
people will be more hype about the Sony PS5 than the new Xbox because it's like, oh, they did really well with the PS4 in comparison to Xbox One. So like
Mm-hmm.
Sony already making like a good name for themselves with the PS4. So it's like compared to like what they did with the Xbox Ones, where it's like, okay, this is more like an entertainment console, I guess. I could just buy just a, I don't know, a DVD player or something. Just for
Yeah.
you know,
I remember
but
this this one thing I was watching where he was talking about how the worst games of 2019, and he literally said Xbox, just Xbox, because there's no reason to use it besides Netflix and Hulu. I mean, like going off of that though, like they already announced that they're not making any like whatever the new system is
Exclusives.
called. Yeah, they're not making any exclusives for the next generation console until a year or two after this one drops. You know what I mean? Because of that, it's okay, but at the same time, it's like you don't really need a reason. You don't have a reason to buy it. Like I feel
right,
more reason to buy the PS5 because they already announced PS5 games, like Godfall, for example. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They already announced like, oh, this is a PS5 exclusive, like from the get go. So you already have something to look forward to. And then
and I
Horizon
feel
Zero Dawn sequel is going to be on PS5 too. So it's like something's going to come out.
yeah,
Yeah.
With the with,
People are really hyped for Godfall for real. Honestly, I'm really hyped for that game. I think that
It
game
just
is gonna be
reminds
good.
me
It's
of
like a
what's it called?
slasher type looter type game. It's like
What's
if
that called?
Warframe had
Darksiders? Is that what
no
it's called?
guns,
Corn? I forgot.
basically.
Wh-
I don't
You
know.
know what I'm
I
talking
don't know.
about with
what type of combat is it?
it's yeah,
Dark.
Darksiders. It's like
Oh
Darksiders like two and
yeah,
three
yeah.
and
Dark
well the
Souls.
whole series.
Hmm.
It's like hack and slash and
Oh yeah,
like gods and stuff. Yeah, it
It's
really reminds me of that, but like more updated in a way.
but
yeah,
you know
yeah. It's
with
hacking.
the
Yeah, it's like a hack
PS5,
and
I
slash.
think a lot of their games, like you have games like Ghost of Tsushima and
Bunch of
like other
loot.
like
It just look real
like
cool.
really good companies coming out with like new IPs.
all
Hmm.
right,
But I think the PS5 is really gonna have a shit ton of sequels. Like I know for a fact there's gonna be a Spider-Man PS4 sequel. Cause like Sony bought Insomniac, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, all their PS5 testings
Mhm.
were using Spider-Man PS4 because that was their heaviest game. But
Mhm.
there's no point in using Spider-Man PS4 as like a heavy as a testing machine unless they were gonna create a sequel. And the creators wanted to create a sequel to Spider-Man PS4
Mhm.
because they were like, yeah, we have a shit ton of stories we want to tell, and we're gonna release it as DLC. But they only released what 3
Yeah,
DLCs and called
that's
it a
true.
day.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's like they're really just waiting, you know what I mean, for that moment where that junk drops. And plus, they already they're like the powerful, like how powerful that console is pretty interesting because they loaded up Spider-Man PS4 with the with the actual PS4. It's like a few minutes. All the PS5 hardware, it only took like 30 seconds, less than that. Like it was crazy. Or how like fast it took for it to load the cutscenes and stuff like that. Did y'all hear how like the PS5 has apparently a new feature that they patented or something
What?
where you can actually talk to it? Like
you
you'll
said
say,
it's Alexa now.
yeah,
You said it's
yeah,
Alexa.
like you'll be like, hey PlayStation, how do I defeat the boss or something?
I mean,
And the actual console will tell you,
to the PS4?
the
80%
console
of the
itself.
players like
Because
you defeated the boss using this kind of item that you find in this location. You know what I mean?
that might be clean actually, because the PS4 has has that already, but it's more so
Yeah,
like,
it's
hey,
super limited. You can use it on the home screen.
it's like,
So
hey
it's like,
PlayStation, open this game.
yeah, because people were like a little like wary of it because it's like, what if you could use that? Because my own thing, like, it's a cool feature, but you have to make sure that you
That's
can't
clean.
buy
That's way
things
better.
with real money with it. Because you know how easy it'd be for a kid to be like, "Hey, PlayStation, give me V-Bucks," you know?
Yeah.
You gotta be able, and it needs some kind of like limiter for that. But as an actual feature, I like it because it's
Oh,
really
bro,
clean.
bro,
Because
that's too
PlayStation already
advanced.
has it with the
Whoa.
trophy system, where if you click your trophy, you can look into like, okay, what do I need to do it, and it can help you set up an automatic Google search stuff. Like making things accessible to me is really clean for that.
I'm more interested in the next gen, like the next gen area, because like
Mm-hmm.
basically both Microsoft and Sony are claiming that the loading times aren't going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Which
Which
I
is like,
kind of doubt because it's gonna probably be instancy.
yeah, I doubt the loading screens are going to be gone forever, because
Mm-hmm.
like even the most strongest PCs still have loading times.
Yeah.
But
They're just like super short.
I do think that loading screen, at least like like story mode loading screens,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably never gonna see, or at
Yeah,
least
because like a lot of times the hard drives and like just actual specs of things nowadays are catching up to where even if the game is poorly optimized, it will still load pretty fast.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Mhm. About that feature again, just real quick, bro. If like with the voice command, I hope you can use it while it's off, or like you can use the option.
I mean,
'Cause what if I don't
Xbox
want to
had
pick up
that
a
feature with
controller? I'm
Connect.
lazy as hell,
I remember I used
so
to have a
I'll be
360.
like, "Hey,
I had brought
PS4
my
on."
Connect
Like
that I
I
was
don't
able to
have to
do that. It
do
was
nothing,
clean.
bro. I'm
Like
booting over
Xbox
my
on, and
girl.
it'll come
And,
on.
like,
I'm like, oh, that's clean.
I guarantee
yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that
Oh
the
yeah.
Xbox One would have been more successful if they
Oh,
had
that's
like an
clean. Bro, I
Alexa
don't
like
even have to
feature in
touch
it.
the controller,
hmm
bro. Like,
I
bro,
thought they
this
did,
shit
didn't they?
fire.
No,
They
they
had to
don't.
connect automatically, but the Xbox
Oh
One,
no, it was an always on thing, right?
yeah, like they kind of had that, but at the same time, it wasn't like it's not what Moose is thinking. But like, they had those voice features, but like they basically confirmed, yeah, we're going to record everything you say.
Yeah.
It's like that's not really helpful. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. That was like way back in like man, that was like a long time
All
ago.
right, that's how I'm like, didn't they have something like that?
Yeah.
Bro.
Got a box for your
At least we
box for
don't
your
have
box.
like a big separate box to like do all that.
I'm just really stuck on the new Xbox's design though. Like they really finalized on
Exactly.
Mini
that.
Got two
Fridge.
rectangles. The main
Mini-
system.
It's
And the
so
other thing
big and
to do the
bulky. It
voice.
reminds me of my computer tower, but like worse. Because my computer tower is more of a
I don't
rectangle. That's
like
like
it.
literally just a box. Like it's
Like
just a square. You know?
I wouldn't mind a PC that
Yeah.
big, but like a console.
Yeah. Like consoles are made to be compact and looks clean. Like it
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks
Mhm.
clean, right? However, it does not look clean.
Oh,
Like,
let me throw this out to you. Let me throw this out to you.
the
What if the
Xbox
parts
One.
can be changed out?
like the parts and stuff.
Yeah. If it's
No.
that big, what if the parts can be changed out?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's like you know what you call like internal or external.
Internal.
Like, that is true.
It's so big that it's like a PC.
That will be
Think
kind
like
of.
that.
I'm not gonna
Nah,
hold you up on that,
I want to find that clean.
but at the same time, it's like I'd rather just buy a PC than.
It'd get rid of the
Mhm.
whole need of a console at that point, or
Yeah,
like
But
'Cause that- 'cause
consoles
that-
are like downgraded. Consoles are downgraded PCs, where it's like
Yeah,
a
but
baseline. You know?
right now Xbox is
Yeah.
trying too much to be like a PC, like with all its crossplay, like
yeah, and like the
all-
whole early access stuff, like Steam, and shit, like yeah, I know what you mean. Like they're really trying to compete with the whole PC crowd, which is the main reason why I used to want an Xbox because like if it's a game that's in early access, Xbox will allow it to be on there first, and PlayStation is like, nah, wait till it's done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that kind of features was clean, but now I'm like, that's not really a lot to need a console for.
I'm
It's
just
not.
saying
I
that
never had a reason to actually want one.
the Xbox One X is probably one of the more aesthetically pleasing consoles I've seen,
Yeah, like
Mhm.
and like especially like, have you guys seen the new Red Jordan one that just came out?
Yeah, I heard that was really
That-
clean.
Yeah, like that looks clean, but then you look at the fucking tower or the mini fridge, and it's like you guys fucked it up because like
Yeah. Like you really
Yeah.
need a computer
it makes no sense, bro.
desk.
Like, how am I supposed to
Like the
fit
one
that on my
I
TV
have in
stand,
order to
bro?
even
Like, where am I
put that
supposed
in
to
there,
put that?
bro.
Like, that's gonna be difficult. It's problematic. You know, yeah. What would make Xbox so fire
You-
would make me.
I mean, you can
consider
play a
ki-
good
you kinda
amount of
can.
them,
first place if
right?
you can
But
play
only
most of the
yeah,
PC
like
games.
a good
on
amount of
the
PC
Xbox.
games you can
Somehow
play
like that.
with the
That would've
Xbox
been-
because they run on Windows.
You kind of can.
Windows
like,
is Microsoft
okay.
kind of thing, you know what I mean?
If you wanted a PC console, like like the ability to play PC games
Right.
on the console,
Yeah.
Steam had a
Oh my
thing for like a good
God.
moment, but nobody wanted it.
Yeah, nobody wanted it, and then they sold it for like dirt cheap, and I was mad 'cause I didn't have the money to get it.
Because like the Steam controller was so ass. There was no joysticks on it. It was just
Yeah,
like,
it was like super.
Yeah. You didn't. I think they redid it too.
Not the,
They
not the
redid it, then they got
VR
rid of it.
controller, like the actual
Steam
handheld controller.
Wait,
like,
hold on.
they had like
Steam
they had
controller?
one
Oh
joystick
my
and the
God.
other joystick was a trackpad.
Right.
Yeah, it was really
Which was-
bad. They tried, but
Hold
like
up,
you know,
Steam controller.
How much was it going for though?
Yeah, you see how ugly that is?
Hold
It's
on.
almost as bad as the
Wait, I'm
Ouya
looking at
controller.
it right
Yeah.
now.
Whatever that was.
oh
ugh.
yeah,
Man, I remember
I'm
seeing
a-
that on an what do you call it, on Game Informer?
we go
Like,
back
oh,
to
this might be a
editing, I'm
clean
putting
ass
that on there.
console.
Gotta
Then
show
checking
that,
back on it in like 10 years.
one of the
like 5 years.
worst investments of their lives, bro.
Guess how much the controller costs if you want to buy it now?
The Ouya controller.
$10. The Ouya controller.
Wait, the Steam one? Oh,
God dang, bro.
I mean, like the Steam controller, like before they discontinued it fully, they like dropped the price all the way down to $5.
Really?
Like, yeah,
Really?
because they were really just trying to like just sell out of them because it's like there's no point. We're just continuing them.
oh. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna have to-
I tried using it because like my friend Jeremiah had it, and oh man, it was an irritating experience. I tried playing Dishonored with it. I think it was the first controller I ever used Dishonored on.
Yeah. Because the main thing I wanted that like hardware wise that Valve made was that one thing, the Steam Link, because that was kind of cool. I think wasn't that the thing where you can like connect it to your TV or whatever, and you can automatically play your games.
I think that's still around.
Yeah.
Like it's actually really
Nah,
sweet.
they got rid of it.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, like in 2018. Yeah, because it was on sale for $2.50, but I was like, I don't know if I actually want this. So I'm like,
It was clean, but like it's basically the what do you call it? What's Google
Google
Stadia?
Stadia. Yeah,
It follows
Google
the same
Stadia, but you
rules.
actually own the game license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real talk though, with like just for like Google Stadia and everything, it's really crazy how they hyped it up, and you don't hear anything about it anymore.
Because it was so trash, though.
I know, but there's also the thing where they're not updating their library enough. They literally just added 5 new games this month. I'm like, 5?
I
Like,
think they're
you have to drop
Yeah.
games because there's
They-
no reason to want this. It's too big of an investment for you not to have games that you can access easily.
No, that's probably why. Because like unlimited streaming for as many games as you want,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a huge thing. It's why Netflix had to make a shit ton of new original content. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, they couldn't.
I just
keep on,
wish
like-
that Google Stadia had more of a Game Pass kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Or like a PS Now kind of thing that's like cheaper and more affordable. Because I don't really see. I would rather like save up a whole bunch of money, get a computer, and just get Game Pass off of that instead of getting Google
True.
Stadia. Because it's like, what's the point?
Honestly, Stadia could have been a free service, and then buying the games and then streaming it from Google could have been the paid part.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that might have worked.
And then like the optional thing will be just buying
Yeah,
that
like,
thing because you can use Stadia with your Chrome browser. But the thing is, though, Chrome already eats up your RAM, and then you got to like run the processes even more with that. It won't be as like clean as you would want it to.
Yeah. Only the Stadia controller looks kind of nice, though. Not gonna lie.
Dang, that Google Stadia controller expensive.
Yeah. Do I want to play? Do I want to pay
kinda
$129 for a
It look
controller?
clean,
Stadia
but
controller.
dang,
I'm gonna keep
bro.
it a buck with you.
Why
The
is
only thing I
that
like
so
about
low?
it is how like the joysticks have that little color thing under it.
Yeah. That's why I said
If it lit up, that'd be kind of clean. But that's it. Like the whole thing was like
It's a
really looks so bare minimum.
It's a glorified Nintendo Switch controller.
It's like if Switch Pro controller had a baby with like I don't know
Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox, and it's like legit every controller combined
Yeah.
into one.
Isn't that most controllers?
Yeah, but worse.
Wait, what's that name of the off-brand company who makes the
Which one?
controllers? It's like a Japanese company. It's like
Rockman? No.
Rock Candy,
Mad Cats.
Mad Cats.
Mad Cats used to be clean though. Like
No,
you
but
know,
my GameCube.
my GameCube memory card. The first one
Yeah,
I had
same.
was an orange Mad Cats one, bro. It worked till the day I stopped using it.
Mad Cats. It looks so janky, bro.
It looked janky, but it worked though. Like
It
Mad
works,
Cats
but
actually
works.
pulled through.
dead,
That's
bro.
the crazy part.
Look wise, that thing look janky, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I had an off-brand GameCube controller from GameStop. It just said GameStop and it had a turbo button, so I was chilling.
I think I did too. Cause I remember I had an actual GameCube controller, like the original one that came with the system, and then I had an off-brand one that was wireless, but you had to plug in the wireless part.
Yeah,
But then like the batteries died, and I bought new batteries. It just stopped working, and I was like, great.
The GameCube had a wireless controller to it, like an official one.
Yeah.
It just like no one wanted it at the moment.
Yeah, it didn't really take
So-
off because you gotta plug
it-
in the wireless port into the actual thing and then
It-
work on it
yeah.
from there.
Plus, it came too early. Like
Yeah, it was
wireless-
kind of it's the embodiment of Sega Saturn, where it was too futuristic for its time, bro.
which is crazy because like
Bro.
everyone's like, why would I want to plug something in to use a wireless controller? But like people do that for the PC now.
Yeah, I do it right now.
It quite literally is something that came way before than it should have. But
Mhm.
then again, can you really blame them? Because like the technology wasn't ready yet. Like the fucking wireless
Yeah.
receiver was what, like a fucking brick size.
Yeah, it was really bulky, and then like if you lost it, that controller is useless. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what happened to me before. I was like, oh, I lost it. It's useless. Great.
But the one thing I'm really hating about the console wars is that basically E3
That
kind of
is
sucks now.
wild.
When you
Yeah,
really think about it,
man.
'cause
It's really
everyone's trying to
crazy.
do their own thing.
Shoot.
That's true.
I'm just saying,
That's
you know, it's
yeah.
bad when the
Like,
host, that
last
one guy
was
Geoff,
really
whatever
bad
his name
too, 'cause,
is,
you know, all the
he's
freaking ads
literally
were
not
like,
hosting it anymore.
it's nasty.
Really?
Yeah, he declined to host it. Like he said for the first time in 25 years, this is his actual quote. for the first time in 25 years, I would not be
Oh.
participating in E3. He
Bruh.
literally was part of E3 ever since it started. And you know, because he was the dude, he's just the Game Awards, you know? Like he's a really
Damn.
big advocate for games. And then yeah, he said like he's not with the wave for the actual thing. People were saying that it was some kind of like, you know, behind closed doors situation that was kind of foul. But then it was like another thing that he responded to on Twitter where he was basically saying like, you know, he feels like E3 needs to be more digital and global instead of just being a show floor. Like he feels like it needs to like expand more than what it's doing right now. Well, I feel like it might be like some more stuff going on with that though. But
I
it's
feel like
really
that's what
crazy.
RTX is doing. You know,
He's
Yeah.
one of my favorite people in the gaming community because
Mhm.
when Konami was like, "Yo, Kojima, fuck you," even though you made us successful,
Mm-hmm.
he was the one who was like at the Game Awards, like basically telling a live like
Yeah,
audience,
like hyping up his game, like he like seriously.
like this man loves Kojima. It's like mad respect.
Yeah,
to him.
that's
So
why he was in the game. He was like one of the what's it called? One of the first people you meet, and
you
he's a
know,
fan of like Kojima's character in the game, and it's funny.
Bruh,
but
that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I know each company is trying to do their own thing. Like you know, there's Nintendo, which like they're just
Nin-
in their own little bubble. You know,
Nintendo really shouldn't have done the directs because the directs really caused this. Well, if you really think about it,
I actually like their directs though, because like I
it's
understand what you're saying. Like it caused the other consoles to be like, you know what, we can do that too. But like, I like the direct's original purpose was to kind of like break the whole boundary of company and consumer. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Be more personal, but they don't have them as often. And my big issue with the Nintendo Directs is all it does is cause toxicity with the
Mhm.
community. It's really just people like, okay, it's the majority of people predicting Smash characters. There's everybody else. There's just like a handful of people who's crying for Mother 3. Then there's everybody else crying for every other game that they wish to have. Then there's that one guy in the corner saying he wish Jenna was in Smash, and I don't know why, but you know that's kind of how it goes.
You said Soragami and Smash now.
I wonder if I wonder if E3 opening its doors to the public really
Dante,
caused like a
Dante
backlash.
for Smash, bro.
Because like if you
Dante
really
for-
think about it, the year they opened it up to the public was considered one of the worst years of E3. Like
Yeah.
Chromecat doesn't even have a video of how bad it was, and you know it's bad because he didn't make a compilation of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next year Sony's like, yeah, we're out, and then one by one everyone else is like, yeah, we're skipping E3. So it's like,
I thought E3 is always open to the public. What happened to that?
no, E3 was only a journalist thing at first.
Yeah, it was more so like
Oh.
kind of like it's like invite only, but
No, I
it's
see.
not super steep. But then he made it so you had to pay to get in, like kind of like thing.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe in 2018 they opened it up to the public, and everyone was like hype, but like, you know how like San Diego Comic Con is like super hype, but at the same time
Yeah.
it's probably one of the worst conventions of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like one of those situations.
True.
What about
One-
RTX?
Mm.
I think RTX might be open to the public, right?
I think almost every other thing is open to the public though. Like PAX is open to the public if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see.
Yeah. It's like, isn't
Yeah.
PAX basically E3?
It's kind of like another version of it, you know.
It's more chilled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Like
kind of like the Tokyo Game Show, you know, or the Tokyo Game Awards or whatever, where like they it's kind of like E3. It's not super hype. It's hype enough, but it's more like smaller and intimate. You know what I mean? It's not like super.
because the thing about PAX is how it works is basically they'll have one in PAX like West, PAX East, PAX South, and I think there's like
Right.
so like they have like different conventions throughout the year at different places throughout the world. So that way it's like because like the way E3 works is it's in the same building, same place, around the same time every year, and it's like
Mm.
it's kind of like considered the mecca of gaming, while the while PAX I would say is just more so like the tourist spots
Right.
of gaming. So like what I mean by that is you go to E3 to watch like all the big reveals, learn a shit ton of stuff. You go to PAX to catch up on like games that you already know about.
Yeah, like you want like bigger details about this game that you want to see or whatever.
Yeah.
Like with PAX, like yeah, they'll reveal some games there, but like the main
Mhm.
focus is usually ends up being like, oh, that game we announced at E3, here it goes,
Mhm.
or that game we've been waiting on, here it goes.
Yeah, same with the Tokyo Game Show, where it's like, oh, you saw Death Stranding at E3. Nah, here's the actual game. You know.
Because I always kind of like PAX a little bit more than E3. That's why I'm like, aren't they the same thing? Or I thought E3 was more open to the public. And I
Mhm.
thought,
But what works for PAX doesn't work for E3 because PAX is open to the public because not a lot of people go to PAX,
Mhm.
and that's why it works. But since a shit ton of people go to E3, it doesn't work because then you just get like a really cringe fest competition, not competition, but a convention. If you're
yeah,
catching my drift. And in all honesty, Rockstar did the whole let's not go to game conventions first because Rockstar actively avoids game conventions at all times, except for every now and then.
I mean, yeah, the two creators are literally like always behind cameras with their own stuff. Like they never come to the public about much. Like, did you know that one of the original
Dang.
creators like left the game
Yeah,
company?
I was
Yeah,
just
but like
about to bring
they
it up.
literally just put it in on like size 6 font on their business document. Like because they really
Fuck.
don't want it to be like public, you know what I mean? And if it does, they don't want like super big of an event, you know? They want to be like really chill.
So
yeah.
going on to that, so Dan Houser leaves, and like they're kind of vague on why he's leaving. Like,
Mhm.
is it like a Kojima situation or
Makes
some
sense
shit?
though.
And it high key might be, but in a more low key manner. So like the way Take Two is like they take like I believe like I want to say a good chunk of Rockstar's cut.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like 60% or some shit. And Dan Houser, so like one of like he's been there since like the very beginning because it's him and his brother Sam Houser who basically formed Rockstar,
Yeah.
and they've been there since the very beginning. And like he helped make GTA 5, like all the GTA games, Bully, I think Max Payne, Red Dead
Yeah,
Redemption.
they like wrote for every game. They had like they like had like a writing role in it.
His mentality though when it comes to games is we need to take as like slow as we can go and not to rush things because if we rush things we're only going to fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Like a story can need to be crafted at like a nice rate, but like Take Two's creators, like Take Two's head ups are like, no, you guys need to release games at like a more regular pace, which is great in a way, but at the same time Take Two wants a new game like almost every 2 years essentially,
Yeah.
right? Because when you really think about it, they're money hungry. They're basically the entire reason why that GTA 5 is so oversaturated.
With the
Yeah.
online, yeah.
Yeah, and the foul part is, and like there's high key some beef because there's a greedy character in Red Dead Redemption 2 who shares the same name as the CEO of Take Two.
Yeah. I heard about that. I heard about that. It's what's his name? What's his face? Like the money shark.
Yeah,
Uh,
something,
yeah.
but
Uh,
but it's like super foul. So it makes you when he leaves, it makes you really think: is he leaving because he has beef, or is he leaving because he's retiring? Because both are plausible, but it's like I believe that he's leaving simply because
Yeah, the foulness.
the foulness. No, the Dan Houser, he was like one of
The OG creator
the
of
of like
Rockstar
So
with
that
his
whole
brother.
C3.
Yeah.
bruh.
Dan Houser.
Yeah, man. I really
Not
hate how video games went
Oh, Rockstar.
what's his
chill
name? Like
hobby
Strauss or
thing.
something?
Strauss was
yeah,
Harris Strauss? Yeah, Harris
yeah.
Strauss.
Really? Harry Strauss was named after
Yeah, that was his name. Harris Strauss.
that dude was a scoundrel, bro. He had a whole thing of like tricking people into like loaning money and beating them up for it afterwards.
yeah, the CEO of Take Two is
Yeah,
named
like
Strauss
E3 is
Zelnick.
like
Oh, that's wild. Of
So that wasn't coincidental.
course not. Arthur hated him, bro. What are you saying,
that
Corn?
last name though. Mm. I don't know. I was just saying like I think E3 is basically just dying because it's really not fitting like modern gaming anymore. Like, because like as it's dying now,
Yeah.
now that's a really bad thing because now it's gonna lose money because like a
Yeah, I feel
big
like going to like
event like
potentially like a
E3,
like one
I
like
feel
that's a
like
lot of
E3
money.
and
So
Comic
you
Con should
know,
just like mix
if this
together,
E3
really.
doesn't go
None
well,
of,
that's
I mean, because the main
definitely
reason
gonna
why
affect
E3 and
like
Comic Con are
future.
separate is because E3 was like meant to be more than just games.
Yeah.
It was kind of like more of like a technology thing in
Mhm.
general, featuring games.
Yeah.
But now we
Yeah.
like now it got to the point where just games are like the forefront and everything else is kind of like in the
Yeah.
background.
I forget. I believe it was Nintendo that really made E3 popular because they debuted like I think the GameCube or some shit at E3.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
And
It's-
you know they debuted like and because like originally you released movies at E3 like the very first Spider-Man movie. It's
Mhm.
that like it's like teaser trailer was shown at E3. So like
yeah,
E3 was more tech focused and they kind of lost that. So they should really go back to their roots because
Mhm.
like the only thing you hear at E3 is what video game, video game, video game.
yeah.
all right.
Because like
It's
they
like
have to, yeah.
I remember one
So-
time in high school, I was like, "Hey, everybody, E3's coming on. Everyone, come on, come on, come on!" And like everyone's crawling around my desk, and we were all watching E3 for like the rest of like the day, right?
Mhm.
But it's like that was like 5 years ago, and it's like now I can care less about what's happening at E3, right? It's like
Honestly, it's like
like
when
E3.
live comes on, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll watch it
Like,
later.
I only tune into the Bethesda one simply because sometimes Arcane presents, and I want to see if they're gonna do another Dishonored. That's all I
Or
need.
just any, yeah. I'm still waiting to hear about their next game. The whole
Yeah,
like the two
they
people who like constantly kill each other and stuff.
that like the idea is such a weird idea, and it's kind of weird they're coming from a video game
Mm-hmm.
because the game's supposed to restart every time you kill them. But you
Yeah.
know, it's an Arcane game, right? Where
See,
like
already
you
nothing's
can do
gonna happen.
where you can do whatever you want. So you really got to think about it. That
Mhm.
how the fuck are they gonna implement a two-player game,
Alright,
like
my
a
bad.
two-player protagonist game, where the day starts over every time you die, but
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want at the same time because it's Arcane. So I feel like it's a hard game for them to do, but I think they'll be able to do it.
I feel like if it was any company to do it, they're really creative.
They are. The best thing about Arcane is their whole mentality about how they make games is they really sit down and go, we want to give you as many opportunities as we can. And like
Mm-hmm.
they really do care about their fan base. Like one of their head CEOs, he's like super chill to talk to. I've
Mm-hmm.
talked to him like his name is Harvey Smith. I've
Yeah.
talked to him about my favorite game Dishonored like several times, and he's responded to me in messages and on, like on responses on tweets. So he's like a super chill dude to talk to. It's like we need more studios like them.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, like they're just people.
Mhm.
Like they shouldn't be on this like huge like. Of course, they should like be recognized for their
Oh, that's
talents
cool.
and stuff, but they shouldn't be just so disconnected to where like you can't even be like, hey, I have a question, you know?
Because like almost every video game studio starts as an underdog story because they all start off as like a really lame, like not lame, but a really small company, and then
Hmm.
they find their success like instantly or something. Or
Like
after,
any indie studio, basically.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly, yeah.
it's like come to,
Like what's it called? Santa Monica Studios with God of War. And that's why like their story to me was really interesting because they kind of went through that indie developer moment again with the whole God of War IP because they're like really trying to fix it and make it like something new, and they really did not know what they wanted to do. And it was
because
with
like
the new one
crazy.
or old one.
No,
what
the
was it
newest
like?
one.
Wasn't it like a 10-year hiatus too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
was it years?
Because it was like
I think it was
the
8
last
or
Yeah, I think it was around like I think it's closer to 8. I know like 3 came out around 2010 ish, right?
yeah.
because
I
I
think
think 3
the
came
last
out
one
on the PS3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, God of War 3 came out
Mhm.
around 2010. They didn't make like,
Yeah,
a
when the
couple like
PS3
side
first
stuff
like
before then.
releases when
But
God of
yeah, it was
War
like around like 8 years
was introduced.
because like
since
Mhm.
that came out. And like that entire time they were like in crunch mode trying to figure out,
Yeah.
okay, what are we going to do? Like literally, the what's it called? The director for the game, I follow him on Twitter. He's one of my favorite directors because the dude is just so wholesome, bro. Like if you watch the documentary that they made, Like you can literally see the stress on his face when he was at E3 playing the game for the people. Cause like,
Yeah,
bruh,
because like it was such a different game, and he didn't know how any to it.
yeah, they literally spent like a few years making just that demo, and now they're like, okay, now we gotta make this to a game. And like, if it took us a few years just to get this demo out, how are we gonna make this game?
And that's how I feel like how
Mhm.
Anthem was. Where
Yeah,
it's like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, and it's like, oh, they like this game, and it's like our CEO likes this game, but
hmm
what's the game about? What are we supposed to do? All right, let's keep doing
exactly.
what we're doing. What we keep doing? All right, let's keep doing what we're doing. But what's the story?
hmm
Uh, but
Anth- Anthem's idea was pretty good, but they just really, bro. The idea of the
Space
game
Iron
when
Man,
they
you got me
first like
sold,
really was
bro.
introduced,
mean,
no,
it
but
was such a
do you
good
you know the
concept.
story
It's just
behind
like
Anthem? It's like
it was
they never got any
unfinished. It
type
was
of
rushed,
direction in what they want
and
to do. It's like, oh, we like how
hmm
the game looks. Keep going.
God,
It's like, oh, okay. So
And,
do you want the story? Do you want anything? It's like,
and then
no, just
they
keep doing what you're doing.
yeah,
and then they try. And then they
yeah, bro.
tried to, what do you call it? Say, oh, we're gonna fix up the game, and then never got back to it.
yeah, because it got freaking bodied by EA.
Disappointing.
But
EA was like, okay, what y'all doing? Where's my money? And you're like,
what money, dog?
we're trying our
Well,
best, you know. Please.
Bethesda, Bethesda did the same thing, but it was worse because, like, there's people out there who actually love the game. Like, they
Yeah.
released Fallout 76.
Dang.
Not gonna lie, I was kind of hyped because I'm a fan of Fallout.
Yeah.
And like the idea of like
Yeah,
multiplayer,
same.
the idea of multiplayer Fallout
It's
was.
something I've been asking for years.
But I talked to
Same.
you,
I
Omri,
like
about it, and
Fallout.
Yeah,
you convinced me not to get it because you were like, it doesn't look like it's gonna have that much content.
because I was
Wait before.
worried because see, it's
Oh
this one game,
gosh.
right, that I played a few years back. It's an MMO that takes place in like China. It's like a martial arts thing,
Oh,
right?
I know you're talking about. I know you're talking
And
about.
when you log out the game, your character turns into an NPC.
Yeah.
And like whatever occupation you choose, they do that job and gain experience, gain money, and for players while you're offline. I thought Fallout 76 was gonna be like that, and it wasn't. Instead, you're just in a lonely world, and that's it. I'm like, okay, some games can pull that off. Like Journey, for example. Journey has no NPCs, but the adventure is what matters. There isn't really a reason to on the 76 unless you just want to, and like it's a cool looking game,
Right.
but it's just I wasn't feeling it. That's what maybe I told you that. I was like, nah, man. This, like,
Because like when it came out, I was like, oh, me and my homies can like get together and we can actually like probably like fuck around and shit. But then the game releases and there's literally no content in it.
yeah,
And there's this, you can compare this to what's the game No Man's Sky by
hmm
Hello Games.
yeah.
It's kind of the same situation where
I,
they
I,
release.
I'm their devil's
Or
advocate
Anthem.
because I was the one that bought No Man's Sky.
Oh, really?
No,
Stop.
How was that?
Yeah,
let me tell
it's like
let me
this,
tell you
right?
some.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
know,
tell
you know what I'm saying?
Wait, I'll let you finish, but because like there's something about there,
Mhm.
like a bit of drama that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But Elmer, you can finish what you were saying.
Oh yeah, I was saying like it literally started off as a bad game. No, it was like this, right? The first 2 hours of that game were some of the best experiences I've had in like a game like that, like a creative kind of game. I was like, oh man, like you find your ship, you fix it, you go into space, but then you realize that's it. That's what had me upset. And I was actually on the bandwagon of being angry at them. So I found out their backstory where they're
Yes,
literally just an indie studio
that's
who are
exactly what I was gonna talk
who are
about.
put on the spotlight, because I mean, me and you talked about this before. It's like freaking is messed up because
Yeah, because
you never take a creative person and make them a spokesperson because they're going to keep saying, "What if I think we can do this? We will be able to do this." Like, bro, I'm literally in architecture school. I know this, bro. You gotta like take that step back and be realistic, and he wasn't
Yeah.
doing that. I'm not mad at him for it because he had like
He
a
was
lot of
hyping his
dreams
he was
for it.
hyping his game up.
Yeah, like that's like his child, bro.
Yeah.
Internet Historian, he's on YouTube. Check him out if you guys
Yeah, I
ever
watch
get
him
the chance.
sometimes.
He released a video, like a huge documentary, and like the
Mhm.
first half is like basically how the public perceived Hello Games, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very logistic. But then he taught the other half of the video actually focuses on what actually happened, and it's a
Mhm.
completely different story.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people thought like, oh, he was hyping up his game, similar to Bethesda, and then they just fell short, right? And they took their money and dipped. The actual issue was, so basically they were genuinely an indie studio, and they couldn't afford a PR team. So the
Yeah.
CEO was like, I'll do it, right? But he's an introvert, so he doesn't really know what to say in these situations.
Yeah.
And in his effort to, he ended up creating a lot of hype. And in his effort to calm down the hype,
Made
he
more.
Right.
and because of the hype, there's like a lot of shit that was going down. Like, so their game was called No Man's Sky, and there's a company in the UK called Sky News,
hmm
and basically they had sued Microsoft like about a while earlier because Microsoft's OneDrive program was originally called SkyDrive.
hmm
So they were like, anything that has Sky in it, we're gonna go after you. They went after them. They finally settled the agreement that like, no, we're keeping our name.
hmm
And then this fucking mathematician knocks on their door going, hey, you're using my math equation in your game. And they're like, we're not.
hmm
He's trying to sue them for that. Then Sony knocks on their door like, hey, make me this game. And then on top of that, their offices flood. So
Yeah.
like it was just but like comparing them to Bethesda, because they both released a game that was like incomplete and
Mhm.
nothing to fan expectation. Bethesda said Bethesda yeah, it just works. Bethesda really said that oh, we're gonna fix the game, we're releasing out patches and
It
shit,
just works.
Hello Games, and they did nothing, right? Bethesda
Mhm.
quite literally has still not fixed the game. Hello Games did the exact opposite. Instead of saying what they were gonna do, they stayed silent, released
Yep.
the updates on a low
Mhm.
key, and then made the game better.
Yeah. Like you should have seen my face, bro. Because I was like, oh, why are they so quiet? Why are they so quiet? And out of nowhere, Sean popped up and he was like, look, bro, I'm only being quiet because I'd rather work and show y'all the results than keep talking about it. And I was
For
like,
the
oh,
game, and it's
oh,
free.
okay. And yeah, that's the crazy part.
They made No Man's Sky free.
No, the
Oh,
game
oh
right
my!
now, the game was originally $60, but it's $20 right now. You can usually get it for around $20. That's why nowadays I recommend it because I'm saying it's a finished game right now. Like if you want like a spaceship game where you just fly around and do stuff, and it's like a whole bunch more stuff in there now, like base building and a whole bunch of other features.
And
It's a good game
multiplayer.
to play. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, and the multiplayer is solid, and they make it and they have it so you have like a whole player model. It can be in third person and like customize your character. It's really cool. But like, yeah, it's freaking crazy. Like he came out of nowhere, dropped that update, and that update alone fixed like a huge chunk of the
Half
game.
the game.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh wait, there's more, bruh. And
'Cause-
continue dropping back to back updates, bro.
True.
Because like if you see do you know how they fix it? They quite literally listen to their fans.
Yeah.
So he was like,
Making the
so
game
basically
finish,
when
bro.
their game was getting a shit ton of shit, he told his team, okay, you guys focus on the main issues, right?
Mhm.
I'll handle everything else. And then he basically rerouted all the hate emails to him. And then
Yeah.
he grouped up each hate email based on what they would like. If someone was complaining about like lag or some shit, and
Mhm.
he categorized each and every problem, and then he made sure he targeted that problem and fixed it.
Yeah.
And like that's actually a really smart method of fixing a game, and it needs more love, is what I'm saying. But
That's good.
Bethesda pisses me off because they basically,
All right.
hey, you guys want to buy our subscription service for our own video game? Not a
Yeah.
Bethesda subscription service, just
Hey,
our Fallout 76 subscription.
Most have you heard about the
Mhm.
expansion for the game?
The
They're
what?
coming out with new DLC for 76.
Why?
Really?
Huh?
They're coming out with
What?
new DLC for 76.
After
76
the
pisses me.
membership?
No. They're coming out with a new DLC for Fallout 76. Like I just seen a few trailers on YouTube though.
Why?
Did they even fix their original membership? Like, wasn't that
Why?
shit deleting your items like permanently?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you'll do a solo
Game is
game and it'll
bad.
bug out, and you won't even be able to do the solo game correctly.
And you'd open up your DLC, be like, "Oh, this is trash. Try refunding." And they're like, "Oh no,
Imagine if
you
you're a game developer and people purposely like mess with your game to send you bug reports on how to make your game better, and you ban them.
I heard about that.
That really made me mad. Like it's literally people take the time out of their day. They don't even like cheat the game or mod it. They figure out a bug that exists that people are exploiting. They mimic it, and they send Bethesda a step-by-step way to mimic that bug so they can fix it, and they get banned for it. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you literally have people who
No.
care about your game more than you do, and you're just
No,
shooting them in the foot
There was a mod.
That's stupid.
because they use the same engine. They use
Yeah,
that.
like-
They've been using that engine.
They had
And that's why the-
literally almost the exact
why
same
that's
bugs
like
from
Fallout 4. I'm
Fallout
like,
4
it's
to
not-
Fallout
doesn't
76.
seem right
They
about
had
Fallout 4.
almost the exact
Because
same
their
bugs.
engine
I was
is
like,
the
what are you
same
doing?
engine they've
Same
been
engine,
using since
yeah.
Oblivion.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't
just
even beat it. I'm like,
just
sometimes
updated
even
the
seem right.
graphics. Yeah. So like, even though it's like, no matter how you slice it, bro, it's
Yeah.
still crap. You know.
All right.
you can be.
Like, it doesn't
You
seem
can
right.
make it look pretty, but now it's just pretty crap. You know. Like Outer Worlds is heat.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad it
Yeah.
came out because it's like,
Buy
okay,
Outer
if
Worlds.
Bethesda is still gonna be on
Get
their
Outer Worlds,
garbage,
call
at
it a
least they have
day.
competition.
Yeah, call it a
now.
day. Get that game.
You
Call
know?
it a day.
Right.
You don't need
At least they have
Fallout.
another company saying like, you know, we don't need you to be the only one doing this. We can do it better, and they did twice. All New
I-
Vegas and Outer Worlds, bro.
I remember when they because like Outer Worlds' marketing skill was basically the original creators of Fallout, and a
Yeah.
shit ton of like Bethesda fans came at them like, oh, nobody who originally worked for what was the
Obsidian, yeah, they're not there
What-
anymore.
yeah.
But like, they're like,
that was
so
the main argument. That was
Mhm.
the main argument.
y'all
and, like,
lost 20 people. It's not even the same people anymore. It's like, so we still gonna be good though.
people still criticize Outer Worlds for not being as customizable as they wanted it to be.
I really liked Outer Worlds a lot.
Yeah.
Like as a packaged game, they really took the idea of, okay, we're gonna not have it super big just to be big. We're gonna have
Yeah.
it small, intimate, and make it make sense. And they did that. That's why I was able to beat it while I was doing classes and stuff. I was like, I can actually have enough time in an hour and actually get some actual progress.
Oh yeah.
Like I literally downloaded Final Fantasy 15 again.
I,
And it took me like forever just to do a quest on there, for example. On Outer Worlds, I could do like 5 of them in the same amount of time.
yeah.
Oh my
I'm-
god.
Open world games are a huge turnoff for me because there's
Mhm.
too much to do and like I get overwhelmed and
Yeah.
it takes too long. Like I hate playing GTA 5 because it's just a repeat mission of go to this place, shoot person, take back stuff, escape cops, right? But it's a
Mhm.
huge ass map. And a lot of games, especially open world games, have like tiresome fetch and quest missions. But in Outer Worlds, I really don't mind the fetch and fetch missions.
Yeah.
Like they're very common, but at the same time it's like super short, super simple. I can get it done. I get creative dialogue points. Everything's fun, right? Like the
Yeah.
missions are interesting, the game's not that big. It's just a solid game, and I don't see why people criticize it as much.
Yeah,
as
me
they do.
neither. Because it's like when it's a fetch quest, it's literally like 2 minutes away. Like you're not about to
Yeah.
like go out of your way. Like, a few of them were like, "Oh, go to this planet, go to this planet," but the loading screens are short. You
Yeah.
know, and then
I-
usually I'll
That's
be
really
doing
true.
5 quests at once, so it's like it wasn't even an issue for my playthrough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the the
Because I
first
did all
town-
the companion quests too. I'm like, this is easy.
Yeah,
the first town you get to
yeah,
where there and then you
Yeah.
meet like the sick dude. Yeah.
So yeah.
Meet the sick dude, and he's
Yeah,
like,
I
"Hey, get
don't-
me this medicine." I thought I had to travel across the map. No, it was like a 3-minute walk.
yeah. It was like right down the street. Then one girl put up like, "Oh no, give me the medicine, and I'll give it to everybody else." He's old.
I remember killing him and then killing her.
Mhm.
Now it's calling a day. I was like, all right.
I remember starting the game and then like that guy who I was like, "Oh, I'm like technically a medic. I can heal you." He was like, "Thanks. Here's my gun." I was like, "Okay." Blew his brains
Kill him.
out. Walks out.
No,
Kills his friends, bro.
Bruh.
my favorite.
No.
thing-
I remember what I did. It was
Spacer's
like
choice.
I'm like I'm gonna report you to the guy.
Hey,
And it's like,
Spacer's
don't do
choice.
that. Don't do that. And I was like, don't worry about it. Kills you. And I was like, all right.
my favorite thing I did was when I entered the game. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make all my skills charismatic and add 1 to everything else.
hmm
1 to the person. And they're like, I'm gonna have to report your ship. Nah, bro. I'm your boss. You can report me. And it's like,
Yeah, because
Crazy.
I really wanted to do a whole charismatic thing too.
Uh.
Because once I found out that the people that
Bruh.
made Outer Worlds were the same people that made Fallout New Vegas, I knew those speech trees were gonna be pristine. So I had to take advantage of that, man. Like literally, the dialogue is so funny. Like even if you skip all the way to the end of the game with that one chick who's like, "Nah, bro, I want the body of your friend." I'm like, "Look, if you literally touch him, I will walk in there and I will murder you, bro." I literally killed everybody inside this entire complex.
Oh, the corporation girl.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
literally
that's-
like because
she
I had
got
the
to go.
opportunity. I put fear in her heart, bro.
Yeah.
She left. like bro, Rack, bro. She left. She was like, you know
Yeah.
what? You good? She left, and then she sent supplies.
Bruh.
Like, how you make somebody leave and they give you money afterwards?
Because like
Bruh.
I bought I played Fallout New Vegas. I never I didn't finish it, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Fallout 4 is on PS4. Let me get it. It was
Mhm.
on sale.
Mhm.
Not
Bad
realizing
game.
how it's like a bad game.
It is.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Corn
because
likes it, though.
I love I love dialogue games, especially when I have multiple choices, and I love like
Mhm.
reactions and saying like weird random stuff and seeing how it goes, like
Yeah.
multi-branching stories. And then Fallout 4, I click a thing. He doesn't even say what I wanted him to say.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like, oh, like, hey man, how's your day? Oh, let me do the sassy response. Your mom's stupid. Oh, okay. That's not sassy at all. That's kind of mean.
All right, and it's like this. All the responses lead to the same thing. So it's like,
Yeah, like
yeah,
it's like, what's
it,
the point?
it gives you a false idea of a linear story when it's not.
Yeah,
all right,
because some games can do that and pull it off, but that's really
Dishonored.
games where it's like, yeah, like Dishonored or even like other.
you want to know a
I'm trying to
game that
remember, like,
that
yeah,
doesn't have a story but kind of did it well? Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3 had a story.
No, it like
Did
when I
it?
say like branching stories though, it had I
Oh,
think
okay.
3 stories, but it's like your choices really
Far Cry
didn't matter that
I-
much.
I mean,
Honestly,
yeah, it was really you kind of just did your
Y-
thing.
Yeah,
Far Cry 3 really was like, hey, you kind of just walked into this mission real quick.
right.
Mhm.
It's like
Honestly, since we're talking about Far Cry, I'm gonna do a full breakdown right quick. Far Cry 3 is my favorite.
same.
I played 3, then I played 2 because people said 2 was really good, and then I played 4. People said 4 was better than 3. So it's like this, right?
Nah.
I like 3 better than 2 because 2 is kind of clunky. People are gonna hate me for that, but like I like to do stealth stuff sometimes. So like yeah, and then 4 is better than 3. However, the story in 4, no, I'm talking about gameplay wise. Like the gameplay of 4 is updated.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they
I-
literally
I-
give you everything from the start, but at the same time, I don't like it for that reason. Like I still like 3 more
I played
because
a
it's
20
like
minute.
way cleaner.
I
I
feel like
took
the only reason I don't like it is because it's like you are like a sniveling white child.
Yes, that's and then
And
you
I
go
feel
into
like
this
that's why I
freaking,
like that. I'm
and
like,
then you like
you a sniveling
evolve,
white child.
bro.
I really don't like 4.
Yeah, the protagonist is
'Cause-
lame. He's literally just an army guy, and then
Because like
oh
the
yeah,
setting is kind of lame. Like
Mhm.
it looks beautiful, but
wanna be
it's
India.
it's super lame.
It is India, right?
The game's
guess.
tough.
Like I love Far Cry. Like Far Cry 3 was like it's just fun to fucking play and clown.
Yeah.
But Far Cry 4, it felt like a chore. Like I was bored
Yes,
after
bro.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
I bought it and I
Yeah.
was so hyped for it, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually bored.
Right.
I never been. I hardly am ever bored with a game
Like
that I just recently bought, and I was like, bro, this is kind of boring.
Shoot, that was me with Fallout 4. I'm like, what is this game?
Like,
like
I remember I
I,
was before and I played Fallout 4, and I was not feeling that at all, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, Fallout 4 is hype up until you get frozen. Just keeping it real, because you're like, oh shit, Fallout.
Yeah,
get
like
out-
when
you
they
get out
gave
of
me
way.
the power armor, and I had to like gun down the death claws, I was like, okay, what? I'm like,
Yeah.
because going from New Vegas, where like the death claws are a literal threat. I remember I bought it recently for Steam, modded the game, so I have like maxed out stats and health. Why were the
Right.
death claws still murdering me?
Bruh.
You see what I'm saying? Like they're an actual threat. They get into 4, they're like, oh yeah, you're strong, bro. Flex on them. I'm like, okay.
And it's like,
That game is just really
all you
jank.
got is the people
Like
around.
Fallout's supposed to be one of those games where it's like
Yeah.
you also supposed to care
I
about the
feel-
dialogue, Like that's why I like Outer Worlds so much because I cared
Right.
about the
Like,
dialogue.
I only made it to like the baseball part, and that was it. That's where I stopped.
And like
I
Fallout
think
4
with
didn't do that for
Fallout,
me at
they
all.
wrote because the beginning is pretty good, and I think like the
Exactly.
ending concept is really good with the main
Oh my
villain being
God.
Sean, your son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think they wrote the beginning and then they wrote the end and then focus on the middle, but couldn't really figure out how to get that to work.
Exactly. They was
'Cause, like,
confused.
because like the way like I hate I like the beginning, and I really love like the idea of the ending of, you're trying to save your son and then you realize that
Sean,
your
Mhm.
son is actually the bad guy.
Sean,
Sean,
Sean.
God.
Sean.
Heavy rain, bro. That glitch was like hilarious back in the day.
Sean.
But yeah, it's like it's so weird because like the story could have been way
Sean.
cleaner. I like the concept where it's like, oh, the child that you raised, for like, less than a year, is now this grown man who doesn't even.
Who's older than you,
Yeah,
lived a whole life. You can't,
exactly. You weren't involved in it. And you can't really get mad at him.
and he really doesn't want to kindle with you either. He's like, Dad, I
No,
hope
he
you
doesn't
understand,
even.
but he
Yeah,
doesn't really care. He views you as an experiment, which is super
Yeah.
fucked up.
yeah, because of his life. It's just like it's just a really sad thing, but like I don't feel it. But on the other hand, with
But
Outer
you-
Worlds.
no, let's talk about New Vegas and the fucking tree that I cared
Yeah.
more for.
or New
But
Vegas,
anywho.
which is my favorite companion, Veronica,
Mm.
who's
Who's
this
Veronica
is
again?
the thing. Veronica, this is the thing I like about New Vegas and like the writing of Obsidian. It's been years since I played the game. I still remember that character because she was actually like deep and interesting. Veronica was a character from the Brotherhood of Steel. You know how like
Oh
they live
yeah,
underground
Veronica.
and stuff. Like literally, she's like, okay, I don't know nothing about this place because I lived underground my whole life. If I travel with you, I get to learn new things. I'm like, oh, word.
Right.
Dude, I don't know this place either. So it was clean. Every area you go in, she has a new piece of dialogue. Oh, this is a cool place. We literally went into that fancy house, the mansion with the
Right.
cannibals and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, bro, like on the Los Keys, they're fancy and all, but like, I don't know." You know
Bro,
what I'm saying? Like, I appreciated that. Outer Worlds took that to the next level. That's why I loved it.
my boy was Boom, bro.
Bruh.
Boom. That was my boy.
Man, I hated Boom, bro.
You hated Boom?
He
That
was
was my boy.
cool. I liked him, but I hated him at the same time, bro. I was like,
That was my boy.
nah, man. I always have Veronica with, bro. That was my deadly duo.
It was like, you gotta kill them all. And I was like, oh shoot, say less. I'll just kill these
I
people.
hated Boone because he was like, "Yeah, bro, if you happen to NCR, I'm just gonna." I'm like, so you gonna be just to do like a whole Witcher thing where you gonna pick like not even pick either evil. You're gonna just watch them fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm like, hey, dude, all right, I got you, bro.
I feel like that's so disrespectful. It's like, yeah, if you fight like the army, I won't help you, and I won't help them. I'm just gonna watch. Like, okay, thank you, sure.
One of my favorite Fallout characters is this dude named Harold. He starts off in like Fallout 1 as like a normal human, accidentally gets mutated,
Yeah,
and like in
Bruh.
each game you see
Oh, I know
like
what you're talking about. Yeah.
he has like a small little branch that, and in the second game it's kind of bigger. Then like fast forward in the third game, he's a full ass tree, and
Right.
his only wish is that he wants to die, but no one will kill him.
yeah.
The only time a Fallout game has ever scared me, the only time a Fallout game has ever scared me was like the one time in Fallout 3 about that little girl
Damn,
who was like a
what?
grown ass man. I was like, I was not expecting that
That's
at
what
all.
I'm gonna say because like the only time I actually felt fear in Fallout was when I was Fallout New Vegas. That vault,
Bruh.
which had all the like the plant life and stuff that took over.
Yeah.
Because I was actually like, okay, y'all have to like legit pop out at me. I don't like this, bro.
Bruh.
The
like
Fallout,
it was just fall.
the Fallout universe is like super fucking interesting, and it's sad that how like boring they made 4 in New Vegas.
Yeah,
Cause like I don't know, like in a way Fallout had like really realistic looking stuff, but like the monsters in the game were kind of really freaky. And then now like you got giant sloths in New Vegas, which sure that's what I wanted.
Shoot, you had Castadors in New Vegas. Those things were horrible.
They're like, yeah, Fallout New Vegas is one of the most
I
beautiful.
heard you don't
Fallout
like
games.
bees. So how about giant bees? How about giant scorpions?
Like
How
I
about
don't know.
giant
What about
roaches?
giant kung fu bees? Here you go.
I don't understand the logic. Here, I heard you like Fallout, so here's our best looking Fallout game yet. Fallout New Vegas. It looks super beautiful. But that's not what Fallout's supposed to be. It's supposed to look ugly as shit. It's supposed to be look run down. Why do you want to make the world look so beautiful? What the fuck?
I
Is that
don't
New
want to set
Vegas?
the world
No,
on
Fallout,
fire.
Fallout. No, not New Vegas. My bad. 76.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
They
you
were
know
like,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
New Vegas, like, nah, bro, that shit was kind of gritty. Like literally, an army base only had one working toilet, and it breaks before you even get there.
Because like Fallout 76, I get the idea. Oh, this is before where all the nukes started dropping.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like, it's Fallout. It's not supposed to be like colorful fall colors. It's supposed to be like a fucking
like
desert
sad and dark and gritty, and you're supposed to feel that
and
people
whack.
people literally died, and plus you're literally walking around in an area where everyone's dead or wants to kill you, so it's kind of too happy for that kind of mood. My main issue with Fallout 76 though, like, didn't they add like a new creature, like a big dragon thing?
Bro, why are they adding a dragon to Fallout?
It's AI or whatever. It's the same as a dragon from Skyrim.
They have
It's
a
like,
battle,
Yeah.
instead of patching up their game, here's battle royale.
Yeah. That was
They
like,
literally
what the fuck? Oh God. That was so stupid. The stupid thing about
Mhm.
that online shit or that battle royale thing is like when you have to shoot the person first.
oh, you're saying it like that?
The other
I
person
mean,
has to
yeah,
shoot
because
you
the main
first,
thing
and
is
then
like
they
if
have to
you
they
shoot
take
somebody in
that
Fallout
damage.
76,
So it won't the battle won't
they take
start
like
off as
chip
fair.
damage.
So
Just like
yeah,
it's not enough to like do a lot, but it still puts you at a disadvantage. And then once they shoot you, that's when it starts. Like, I appreciate their mindset for that, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I feel like they could have did a whole better system. I would have rather have it set up where if you
Exactly.
hit me, or like GTA for example, where if I'm not in passive mode and you attack me, bro, I'll take full damage. Call it a day. So
honestly,
all that extra stuff is just being extra.
You know what would be a clean ass battle royale though? Like a high kick. Imagine a battle royale game, but
right.
the weapons work like how they do in Breath of the Wild. Clean ass weapons that can break.
My
You know,
favorite battle royale, I haven't played it yet. The Darwin Project. I always tell y'all about it because it's really cool, but I never played it yet.
Corn does get.
It's like a hunter game, and like it's like literally like 12 people in a small map, and you're in like a winter forest, right? Every action you do, you leave tracks and leave like trails of your presence. And like, say you make a fire to craft something, they can see that fire. You can get hunted by the enemy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
It's like
fire.
it's really clean and it's more smaller and intimate compared to like bigger battle royales. But like, so matches go pretty fast. Is that one? My most disappointing battle royale thing was Paladins, because their original concept was you actually play as the real characters, like like the dragon dude with the jetpack. You play as him in a battle royale and everybody else, and their weapons are random because you can actually find their weapons and stuff. I was hyped for that, but then they were like, you know what, that's too complicated. We're gonna just give you generic people. I was like, oh my god. It was just so lame. I don't like. I'm just saying, if you don't make battle royale interesting,
The one battle royale game that
Oh wow.
that Corn got me into really quickly, like I deadass had a great ass time playing, was Gang Beasts. I know you don't consider that an actual battle royale, but that shit's like super funny just to play. It's a super dumb
Oh
game in
yeah.
a way.
If you want a funny battle royale, play
Yeah.
Totally Accurate Battlegrounds
yeah.
or something. Yeah, I had it for free when it first came out.
Oh, totally act like
The
battle
physics of the game is
somewhere.
just
Isn't that the
Yeah,
one? Isn't
no,
that the one where you like punch someone, they fly through the map?
yeah, like they made like a battle royale version parodying Player Unknown Battlegrounds and stuff. Well, it's actually really
It's actually
solid,
kinda heat.
and it's funny with how solid it is, and like the way the zones created is like really creepy because you have like these like 500-foot tall statues that like levitate, move over, and then they sit down. Like and like the weight of it like causes the ground to shake and everything. It's like crazy.
The thing about like the PUBG in
Bro.
itself is that the guy who created PUBG, he did DayZ, I believe,
Yeah,
or I forget what it was called.
H1Z1.
Yeah, he made H1Z1. Didn't
Yeah,
finish the game. Went to focus on PUBG.
yeah.
Didn't finish the game. Went to focus on another game.
Didn't finish that game either.
I also hyped
Crazy.
when H1Z1 came out. Then I realized I'm gonna be on a PS4. Now I'm, wait, or PS3.
I was kind of hyped when DayZ came out for PS4, but then I was like, wait a minute, they're charging full price for this.
Game is.
I was
I
like,
saw
that's
that.
what- I was like,
No.
I was like, it's not gonna be free. Oh, this game is
They-
so old.
they-
I always wanted to play DayZ. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Right.
like I'm not about to pay money for that.
Right.
Not today. You know what I mean? I could buy
Honestly,
anything else.
like,
for that
what do I
money.
look like?
DayZ.
People act like free to play games are kind of trash, but one of my favorite zombie games is a free to play game. It's called No More Room in Hell. If you guys ever get the chance, check it out.
Yeah, I'm planning on playing that soon. 'Cause it's really cool.
Because like the idea is basically, it's only you and probably like it's a shit ton of zombies, probably like 4 friends, and your best bet is melee weapons because you probably only have 1 bullet in any gun that you get,
Hmm.
and but like even like the best option is to just avoid the zombies at all costs because they'll gang up on you and then they'll swarm and kill you. It's like so foul, but it's like it's so slept on because it's a Half-Life 2 mod game.
Yeah, I'll say like one of my favorite recent free games is Dauntless. Cause I feel like if you really want to get into Monster Hunter, but you don't want to play it or you don't want to pay any money, I feel like Dauntless is a good alternative. Cause like I played it for a while, but then I was like, I have actual Monster Hunter. I'm gonna just play that instead. But like that's a really good game though.
Yeah. Like I played Dauntless for a little bit. Then I'm like, this. I don't know.
Like it's cool for what it is. I appreciate it, you know.
All
And
right.
plus, it's like a small team.
Yeah. It's like it's like the combat in the game is like just so unrealistic to me. It's not even realistic.
Oh
but it's
yeah, I
like-
know what you mean. Cause I
That's why I'm
like what's it called? Monster Hunter's combat is more kind of like Dark Souls, I guess. Like not the difficulty, but like every action has some reason. It's all intentional.
right.
It's meant to be intentional, where it's not like you're not just hitting just to hit. You're just trying to like,
Dauntless has
stuff.
more or less God of War 3 combat.
Yeah, and plus they have the chain blades anyway.
Right. That's why I'm just not you're not really talking like that. I'm like Dauntless combat is like,
Dauntless?
combat.
It's like a hack and slash,
Right.
Just run hands. While Monster Hunter is like, oh, we're actually trying to take this monster down, bro. We're not trying to like, just throw hands, just throw hands.
Yeah,
Right.
Dauntless is cool.
We're not trying
See,
to
I'm
throw
not a
hands.
fan
We're
of,
trying to throw a
like-
box. We're trying to kill this thing.
Yeah. True. I'm not quite a fan of like, Monster Hunter. Like,
I mean, me
ain't nothing
neither.
wrong with
That's
the
why I
game. It's
told
just
you.
really
When you want to squad up
I
and play
don't
the
know. It's just
game,
I cannot
I'm
like,
down.
be
'Cause we're at the
consistent
same
with
point
this game.
anyway.
I
So
don't
I
know
need
what
somebody to
about
play it
it.
with. I know Rack is down.
Yeah.
So I was like, if the 3 of us squad up,
I mean,
Like-
I'll be down to squad up too.
yeah,
so,
Moose is down too. Because like you don't even have the game, don't you? You got to get it anyway.
yeah, I gotta
like
get it. So.
But like I'm not even that far in the beginning. Like I like the game a lot. I just don't have motivation to play it. But I always have a good time playing it. It's just I don't have a reason to play it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with it, but that's what I like about it though. There's so much care in that game.
It's like I don't know. It's just too
All
much
right.
stuff. I don't know.
so before we end off this episode for tonight, I'd like to make just one quick announcement, real quick.
Mhm.
So our podcast is now available on a bunch of streaming services. Our main hub's pretty much going to be Spotify, or actually Anchor, really, because they're going to be the ones distributing it. So if you want to really keep up to date, you should check Anchor first. We're also available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast, and Pocket Casts, along with Radio Republic. We're also available on SoundCloud, but I'm not sure how long we're going to be on that. But you can always find us by searching us up as the Canceled Cast. But anyways, do any of you guys else have anything else left to say?
When we gonna be playing this Monster Hunter? When we squadding up?
That is true.
Mhm.
Tonight, let's go, bro.
All right, let's do it then.
All right.
Bro.
This man.
True. Hold on. I don't even gotta download it, bro. I'm sick,